Sir Clive Sinclair
to pick out what is beautiful and lost in the common human experience.
Want a little warning to make you get up in the morning? Your house is on fire. Do you want to send the fire? Just lift up the receiver. That's all you've got to do. To anyone, and we will walk it over.
Well, no clues there.
Good evening, and welcome. The subject we're going to look at tonight in our own inimitable way is that highest manifestation of the human spirit.
Horse racing.
Art.
Yes, sorry.
Art. Yes, art.
Yes. What is it? Is it just something that you buy in Woolworths to stick over the damp patch on the bathroom wall? Well, yes, it is, as far as I'm concerned. But in fact, it's much more than that.
Yes, I mean, just think for a moment what the world would be like without art. No Mona Lisa.
No London Philharmonic.
No Rudolf Nureyev.
And, tragically, no Nijinsky.
And almost certainly no job for Melvin Bragg. So let's start our investigation by taking a look at the artist himself.
Well, here's one. The bloke on the left there is the noted poet, essayist and situation comedy writer, Lord Byron.
They say that you're mad. Bad. And dangerous to know. Is that true, too?
Mad? He's stark raving bonkers. He's just about to gobble your chrysanthemum, mate.
So, perhaps we must accept right at the beginning that artistic people are strange, unpredictable creatures. I mean, get a load of this.
Sweet, so sweet, our fragrant life in every... Stop! My oysters! Mon Dieu! Imbecile! Where is the vinegar?
Where is the vinegar? Well, those are artists for you, highly strung, tempestuous.
Nutters.
But it's understandable, isn't it? It is the natural result of the angst that afflicts all of us creative people, don't you think, Mel?
Yes, I'm sure.
Well, I'm full of angst.
Well, you're full of something.
Artists are most often prey to terrifying self-doubt.
What if I fail? What if I fail? What if I fail?
Yes, what if he fails? And after spending all afternoon in the hairdressers. What's he trying to do? That's what interests me. This intense concentration on your own work can sometimes lead to agonizing problems. For instance, there's always the appalling prospect of starting a recital, like Frédéric Chopin here, and then realizing you've left the sheet music in the taxi and you can't remember how the wretched tune goes.
This is very eggy, isn't it?
Yeah, oh.
I bet he feels a prat.
Yes. And it's always when the Guardian critic's in as well. Come on, Freddie. There we are, yes.
Go on, Mace.
Go on.
Hold on. That's Side Saddle, isn't it? That's Russ Conway. Go on, Russ. Give us a medley.
So it doesn't matter anyway, does it? Because at least he's played. Oh, dear.
Well, there you go. So bad he's walked out of his own concert.
Inevitably, artists get depressed. Here's Toulouse-Lautrec, the Ronnie Corbett of the Impressionist movement, lying out full length on a footstool and contemplating his prospects.
You must stop. The rate you're going, you'll never reach 40.
Neither did Raphael, nor Watteau, nor Correggio. I shall be in good company. And anyway, it's all for the best. Think how my paintings will soar in value. You stand to benefit hugely.
That isn't funny, Henri.
No, it isn't. Not at all. Mind you, when you're a 3-foot dwarf with a face like a loofah, what is?
So, mental instability, amnesia, depression, and a face like a loofah, all part of the artist's makeup. And we mustn't forget another essential, poverty. This struggling young sculptress has no money, either for a babysitter
Uncle.
Or an artist's model. Tragically, she is thrown back on her own quite ample
resources.
arse, I was going to say.
Everyone's got to start somewhere. She started at the bottom, and let's have a look at this chap. Well, do you recognise this fresh-faced young genius? Yes, it's Jonathan Miller, now the world-famous opera director and television vivisectionist. Did you know that he started out by teaching scales?
What a terrible life for an artist. You're either deprived, depressed, or Jonathan Miller. So we have to ask one basic question. How do they stand it? How do they keep going? Where do they find their staying power?
That's 3 basic questions, as a matter of fact. It doesn't matter, we haven't got all night, so let's look for one answer. We found that even in the modern world, a great artist will try to distance himself from everyday distractions.
Haven't you got a steady girlfriend?
Why is everybody always on with this girlfriend routine?
It's not unnatural or illegal, you know. Not even taxed. Yet.
Girlfriends just pin you down. Anyway, they're always wanting things.
Yeah, they're like a bite of your toffee apple, aren't they?
Go with your best cricket bat.
Yeah, or sex or something like that.
Peculiar things like that. But this particular young performer thankfully found other ways of keeping himself on the straight and narrow.
If I didn't have my bongos to work it out on, I'd flip my lid.
So would I, mate. Most successful artists develop true devotion to one very special person, themselves.
Tell me, what do they say about me in London?
Beppo is good, Manfred is better, and Childe Harold is the best and wickedest poem ever written. Well, in short, you are the greatest poet since Shakespeare.
Is that all?
The greatest poet in Shakespeare.
Well, I mean, we're talking about before Clive James here.
Of course. On the other hand, amorous passion does play a major role in every artist's life.
Here's our absent-minded friend Freddie, Mr. Piano Chopin, vamping till ready.
This melody is for you, George.
Thank you, Frederick.
George? George? What's he talking about? Oh, for heaven's sake, Mel, don't be so ignorant. Everybody knows about Frederick Chopin and George Sand.
Oh, that's George Sand.
Yes, in drag.
Oh, I see. Not very convincing, is it? Not really. It's more like Widow Twanky to me.
What of the creative process itself? The fragile seedling of future genius can begin to appear very early on in an artist's life.
Stop that row! Pack it in. You play this piano once more when I'm in the house, I'll have it chopped up for firewood, all right?
How fortunate we are that the young Bobby Crush chose to ignore his father's advice.
Other juvenile prodigies rightly attract appreciation and encouragement from their elders.
Don't want a dolly, a star takes your fly. Baby's only happy. Oh, and cheer up. Baby wants to roll. Baby wants to jump.
Well, bless my soul.
Baby wants to dance. Dance from head to toe. Baby wants to rock.
Then go, go, go. Rock, pretty baby. Roll, pretty baby. Rock, pretty baby. Your sweet baby. Dance, pretty baby. Your pretty baby. Dance to that rock and roll beat.
Fantastic. Well, that really was quite amazing.
Would you like to see it again?
No, I wouldn't, really. Let's look instead at a pair of slightly older prodigies who chose to face artistic life in tandem. And you'll have recognised them, I'm sure. Two aspiring young songwriters, young Tim on the left and young Andrew at the piano, effortlessly tossing off their very first musical.
Joseph in his amazing Technicolor undervest.
A one, a two. The girl I love best, it's my mother. The girl with the silvery hair.
Shut up! Hey, my boy, you're better sleep. Now you're woken the baby.
And that was, of course, Mrs. Lloyd Webber you heard at the end.
But, you know, in the end, it all comes down to the artist alone. Here is the American sculptor Carl Guggenheim at work.
And this is, I must say, an absolutely fascinating glimpse of a genuine artist in full creative flow. You see, he's taking some clay and some more clay, and he's sort of sculpting.
What's he going to make, actually?
Well, obviously I don't know at the moment. I'm watching to find out.
Frankie?
Never mind the cat. Get on with the sculpting.
Well, he's obviously getting inspired now. Oh, of course, it's a spitting image puppet, isn't it?
It's a house. It's a house. Those were the door and the window.
No, look, it's Edwina Curry. I'd recognise that face anyway.
Are you sure?
Yes, definitely. No, it's Nigel Lawson now. No, he started again. Oh, look.
Well, anyway, there's one he did earlier, anyway. Meanwhile, in another garret in another part of the world, a certain Monsieur Offenbach is bent over his upright, seeking inspiration.
Thank God Phil Collins' mum lived upstairs. But for operating under different conditions, our next example surely takes the biscuit.
Yes, even here in Chernobyl, the local rockmen, the commissars, are determined to rehearse, despite the fact that fallout has turned the grass brown. The fabulous commissars there with a selection of their heavy metal hats.
Well, we've had a look at the true artist in action. After the break, we'll have a look at the reaction.
Meanwhile, we'll leave you with one last example of the artistic muse.
And it's a muse in Knightsbridge, as a matter of fact. Beautiful music wafts on the night air, and even a passing telephone box comes to a halt. Everyone just naturally stepping into position. And we wait here for the last two to wander in and take their place. Come on, dears. Come on, get in along there. Yes, if you can just a little bit further, past the telephone box. Stop there, yes, there we are. Now, there we are. Don't look at each other, look at the door. There we are. Perfect. George Frederick Handel has composed the first television commercial for Quality Street.
At Whitegates, we keep in touch every step of the way.
That's the way, at Whitegates, that's the way.
Tomorrow, exclusively in the Sunday Times, Derek Hatton.
I think that if I was a Tory and I was actually electing a leader, and I would certainly put my cross by Margaret Thatcher. There comes a time when questions have to be asked, who actually is the liability? And I don't believe it's Derek Hatton or Liverpool.
Derek Hatton in the Sunday Times tomorrow.
The Amstrad PC1512 is industry standard compatible and comes with free games and business software, so you can work at home on it, your kids can play games on it. It can even help a small business with its paperwork. The Amstrad PC1512 from £399 plus VAT. Amstrad, computers for every Tom, Dick and Harriet.
Put aside all preconceived ideas about holidays in Britain. Centre Parks is here. A British holiday the weather can't spoil.
You know, Michelangelo, you smell.
Yes, well, critics are the same the world over. They don't pull punches, do they?
Mind you, let's be honest, Michelangelo did pong to high heaven, didn't he?
Which is probably why he ended up painting it.
Yeah. Critics can be cruel, and research shows that every time a British programme is reviewed by Nina Miskow, there is a 7 in 10 chance that the writer will take off all his clothes, wipe his bottom on the script, and scream, "That's all the critics say it's fit for."
I'm afraid that we don't have sufficient time to show you someone actually doing this.
No.
But we're going to anyway.
Yes.
You didn't believe us, did you? Here we are. Poor old fellow. What's he doing now?
He's writing for Terry and June, I think. When confronted with a work of art, some critics find it difficult to put their feelings into words.
You like it? Adams, I've been selling pictures for many years. And in my business, it's always a dream that someday you'll come across, shall we say, a great picture.
Unfortunately, this one stinks.
This is, I feel now, a sort of fulfillment of my...
He means he likes it.
Does he? What do you think, Mel?
Well, I've been looking at pictures for many years.
Yes,
you know,
I know
Griff,
that,
and
yes.
This is... Well, it's not even finished. Look, I mean, she's only
No.
got one arm there. I'm sure it'll be better when he's coloured it in.
Yes, yes. You hang it on your wall, would you?
Yes, over the damp patch.
Other critics don't beat around the bush quite so much.
Here is an artist at work, but in the background lurks a critic. Seth Blunt, art critic for the West Kansas Review.
And what is she painting here? Oh, that's lovely. It looks just like a photo.
It is a photo, actually. That's what she's painting. It's primitive in a crappy sort of way.
Yeah.
Hardly surprising that Seth felt inclined to proffer his rather...
Hey, go away.
well, trenchant criticism.
Well, of course, they do take their art rather seriously out there in West Kansas. Founding fathers, indeed, of the if you don't like it, smash it to pieces school of criticism. This is John Russell Taylor of The Times expressing his view of a whole exhibition.
Here's a French critic showing his appreciation. Must have been Beaujolais Nouveau, mustn't it? Filthy stuff.
And here's the considered opinion of the music critic of the journal for people who wear their underpants too tight.
What a pity it wasn't on compact disc.
We tend to forget that every time the artist performs, his future hangs in the balance. But sometimes he can be his own worst critic.
Signor Paganini,
I'm sorry.
Sorry?
I played that last phrase disgracefully.
Yes, I thought so too, didn't you? I'm sure you all spotted the F natural there.
Well, it ruined it for me, certainly.
Yes.
Yes, it's back to the Alan Ainsworth Orchestra's second violins for him.
Isn't that holding back some artists? I mean, here a group of music critics have gone out for a quiet supper when along comes the Bournemouth Sinfonietta, peeved at their last review and determined to get their own back and maybe a free lunch into the bargain.
He says, Herta. Yes, Herta. You'll never find him. He got away.
He's gone. You don't know where.
Sure, they don't give up, do they?
What way that puts you? Can you?
I'm afraid some people just can't appreciate good music when they have it rammed down their throats.
Yes, the life of the artist is tough. Just look at this poor girl. She's actually got an audience. And, of course, she's got her mother's best dress on. But something, well, it seems to be upsetting her. She just can't bring herself to look at this lot. The most aggressively ugly audience in the entire world.
Now, brave lass, she's having another go, and this time she's keeping her eyes tight shut. Which is probably why she's playing so appallingly. But while she's not looking in, come that cunning old audience to have a look down her cleavage.
Yes,
you see, the truth is that often audiences are full of Philistines. I mean, what on earth do you do faced with somebody like this?
Well, it wouldn't matter, but he is Minister for the Arts. Of course, there are moments when it's quite an advantage to have a tone-deaf, cloth-eared Dumbo in the audience.
By the fixed and glassy stare, John.
A crooner. She's good.
She's dreadful. That's the sort of bloke who buys Rolf Harris records.
Yeah, actually, it's funny you say that, actually, Griff, because here's the same bloke again, and, well, just listen very carefully.
Australians are a musical people. It's the sunshine, perhaps. They sing well, too.
Do you mean he is the bloke
He is the bloke who buys Rolf Harris records, yeah. Every artist has an inner compulsion to practice their art, but where?
In the last resort, there's always Channel 4.
But better perhaps to go off to a war zone and entertain the troops, if you've got the nerve.
Yes, indeed, and here's brave Bessie Bucklethwaite, the Huddersfield hoofer, entertaining our lads out in the Far East with the number that actually got her expelled from the Bruce Forsyth Academy of Song and Dance. And as is the custom on such occasions, the audience pressed closer and closer to Bessie, closer and closer and closer until...
Until what?
Well, until they blew her into 10,000 sticky little bits.
Okay. You never know when some artist will strike, as it were. It can happen anywhere. Say you pop out for a quiet hamburger one evening. There you are, you're sitting in McDonald's in the Edgware Road. You're the fella in front of the fag machine in the middle there. Everything seems nice and quiet. And then quite suddenly, without warning, the bird in the ponytail starts. You're maintaining an admirable sang-froid, considering that, once again, you've found yourself sitting next to the loony. No. Yes, you're all right. That's fine. You try and look relaxed. That's fine. Don't try and stab yourself with the ruler. I mean, things are getting desperate, but hang on in there. Yes, thank God for that. The daft old cow's walking away from it.
Unfortunately, 2 seconds later, the Bournemouth Sinfonietta burst in through the door with a rousing chorus of The Merry Widow.
Great performing artists, of course, know intuitively how to achieve an instant rapport with an audience.
Your own Bongo Hoppers!
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed. It's not generally known that I'm a deeply religious boy.
I never knew that.
No, that's absolutely fantastic. But just look at that. You can see, even at that young age, he already has a firm grip on his audience.
And a fairly firm grip on his bongos, I would say. The one thing a performer must not do is to blame his audience for his own failure.
Now everybody freeze! Who wants to be famous? Who wants to die for art? I do!
Yes, well, that's one way of putting down hecklers, I suppose.
So finally, Mel and I would like, on behalf of all artists and performers, because we do know a few, don't we, Mel? You know, I mean,
I don't know any, no.
You don't know, I see. To ask you this, please, whenever someone puts their work on display, try and let them down gently.
Right. No, listen, no, if you can't say anything nice, say something non-committal, like, oh...
Jesus H. Christ.
What's she looking at?
This.
Jesus H. Christ.
And there we are on that point. It is, in fact, time to say good night.
Yeah, just as well, really.
Yes, I think it is. So, good night, my loves. God bless.
Bye-bye,
Take
lovies.
care.
Good night.
Bye-bye.